All right, I think we have a quorum, correct, Council President? I can't see everyone at once.
I think we're good to go.
Okay. Okay, I welcome everyone to the February 7th Safety Services and Licensing Committee meeting. I would like to just call the meeting to order and ask Madam Clerk to please take the roll.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Present.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Present.
Councilwoman Jermaine, Councilman Riley,
Present.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Present.
Council President Paplaskas.
Present.
Okay. And I will entertain a motion to dispense with the meeting of the reading of the minutes from the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Sorry, I'm on mute.
Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with our agenda. Committee business matters carried over. We have Cafe Day Restaurant and Bar, Carlos Santos. This is a 90-day follow-up, continued from in November. We put restrictions on this license as far as the time. And let's just see how it's going. Is anyone here representing Cafe Day? Mr. Santos, if you're here, you need to press, raise your hand so you can be let in to speak. If you're on the phone, it's a *6, *9.
*9 to raise a hand.
*9. Do we see anyone?
Yes, there's an account named Carlos.
Yes.
They have themselves muted. They need to unmute, and there's a phone number as well.
Okay. Mr. Santos?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, we're just here for a 90-day follow-up. How is it going?
I haven't opened yet because I'm short with employees.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna be open in the next month coming up.
Okay, then Council President or the solicitor, do we need to do anything with this? If they're not open yet, would we just continue this again?
Excuse me. I would suggest, I'll defer to Attorney Videcchia.
No, it's more of a policy decision than it is a legal issue. But if I recall at the time, this license was approved subject to various conditions, which were made in response, I think, to a group of neighbors who had various concerns, such as parking, hours of operation, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion would be, since we don't know status of any of those things, the gentleman indicated that he plans on reopening in roughly a month. So I think it might be a good idea. And again, this is a policy decision, not necessarily a legal decision, but perhaps to schedule another review on this within 60 days might be a little optimistic. Perhaps the committee should go out another 90 days.
Okay, so maybe
But
June?
that would be your decision. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll make a motion.
I'm sorry, it's Heather, the stenographer. I didn't have the gentleman's name and address, please, for the record, if you don't mind. I just need his full name and address for the record.
Okay, it's Carlos Santos, and he's at 326 Union Avenue. I'm sorry,
Thank
Heather.
you. That's okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Council President.
Yeah, I suggest making a motion to send this continue this for 90 days so we get to have the true feel of the restaurant being open for the 90 days. That was the intent. And I think there might be, I see another hand up. I don't know if anybody else from the neighborhood that wants to talk on this, but that would be my suggestion.
So, Council President, can I open that up for whoever's raising their hand from the public? Ask if there's any comment from the public.
Yeah, I think it's chair's discretion. This was continued for a 90-day review, and we certainly welcome the public to come in and give us their feedback. I mean, this gentleman has it open for 90 days, but it's
Okay. All right, so if there's someone here who can unmute themselves and give your name and address for the record, you can speak quickly, couple minutes. But again, Cafe Day has not opened, so we really can't make any judgment calls right now. Whoever has their hand up, if you could unmute yourself and identify yourself.
Yes, Madam Chairwoman. This is Attorney Frank Manning. I represent Carlos Santos.
Hi, Mr. Manning. Can you give us your address too?
Yes, the address is 1405 Plainfield Pike, Johnston, Rhode Island, 02919.
Okay, and go ahead.
And I heard, I've heard the proceedings, and I know we were last here on November 1st with restrictions, and the committee has voted to continue it for 90 days for review. But one of the things Carlos had mentioned when I was talking to him last week about this is that he plans on opening next month in March. But the other question we had was, and I know there are restrictions, Carlos had mentioned trying to get into doing private functions. And if that be the case, we were looking to see if at this time, would it be in order to ask for an extension regarding the hours of operation? I know when we were here in November, it was, I believe, Wednesday to Sunday from 11 to 9. And
Mhm.
Carlos had mentioned to me last week if he could stay open till midnight to accommodate these private functions. So that's a question I had for the committee. The other thing was, I know that he was limited to 60 capacity, and I know the building, I believe, holds about 99. So again, is it in order to ask for, more capacity as well as extended hours, so to speak?
To my recollection, and Council President, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think the limitation on the amount of people there had to do with the parking.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it, the limitations and restrictions that we put in was kind of a balance between what the neighborhood was hoping for. I mean, honestly, the neighborhood came out and really spoke against this applicant. So the council obviously saw it fit to give this gentleman an opportunity, trying to be as pro-business as possible. I certainly, myself personally, wouldn't be inclined to lift any restrictions this evening. One, we haven't seen how things have gone. Number two is we really didn't advertise that we were going to be doing anything like that. So I hate to make a call on something that wasn't advertised on the docket.
Yeah, we don't want to have any open meetings violations here. So if we could just go forward as intended and then revisit, I guess, on the June meeting, would that be 90 days?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anyone else here from the public who wishes to speak on this business matter carried over?
When would the June meeting be?
I don't have it in front of me. Clerk, do you have that information right in front of you?
June
It's
6th.
usually June 6th.
June 6th at 6 o'clock. And do we know if that's in person or via Zoom, or we're not sure yet?
Honestly, the way things are going, it seemed last summer we were allowed to meet in person. So I would assume it will be in person. Obviously, this council has decided to allow hybrid testimony as well. So you would have the option, but I hope we're all meeting in June. There'll be no snow on the ground.
So I hope so.
I do think that executive order expires soon, so it would have to be renewed.
Yes.
Anyway, so I think we'll be in
Okay.
person if I had to guess, but we will, you can feel free to contact us if there's any questions about anything between now and then anyway, and I'll probably
I
stop
will.
by. We have something to eat too. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Very good.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Renzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And we will move on to new matters before the committee. We have a holiday sales license. This is for Doomed Records LLC. Eric Browning. Is Mr. Browning or anyone representing Doomed Records present tonight? Please raise your hand or press.
Yes, we
star.
have account name Eric Browning.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Mr. Browning, can you please also give us your address for the record?
Yes, my home address
Yep,
or the
whoever's-
business address. Okay,
doesn't
my home
matter. just
address
any
is
address.
81. Okay, 81 Shun Pike. That's SHUN Pike, and that's in Situate, 02857.
Okay, thank you. I just asked, is there anyone here from the public to speak in favor or in opposition of this holiday sales license? Please raise your hand. I don't. Do you
No
see-
additional public comment.
Okay, excellent. Then I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, for discussion. Mr. Browning, could you just tell us, it seemed obvious you're trying to get a holiday sales license, but just give us a little bit more information about your application.
Yeah, ultimately, my plan is to open up a record and music merchandise store. It's attached to the Lucy Juicy Smoothie, which is run by the wife of my best friend. So I'll be sharing and subleasing a space there. I've been looking forward to doing something like this my entire life, and finally felt like I was in the position to take the chance and change, a lot of road time and spend a little bit more time closer to home with my family. I have all my vendors lined up, and I've actually been growing the online portion of it. So I feel it'll be very successful, hopefully drive a lot of foot traffic and, bring some more people to the Patuxent Village.
Okay, excellent. Is there
And I
anyone?
grew up in Warwick. It's right on the line there. So that's pretty exciting for me as well.
Oh, great. Well, we're happy to have you in Cranston. Is there anyone on the committee who has any questions for the applicant? I see Councilwoman Vargas.
Yes, thank you, Chairwoman. So while I don't know Mr. Browning, I did stop by and I actually met the owner of Lucy Juicy this past week. I went into business twice. I saw the actual space of where Mr. Browning is looking to go. I did ask about the hours and operations, which I will be asking for that now as well for the record. And so I don't foresee it being a problem in terms of leasing that internal space that she has extended within Lucy Juicy. But Mr. Browning, can you just tell me a little bit about as far as the hours in general that you'll be open in the days of as well?
Yeah, I would. I have landed on Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 7 p.m. And then Sunday, 12 to 6. And then at least initially closed Monday, Tuesday to breathe a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Well, other than that, if this all goes well this evening, I wish you much success. And hopefully you, as much as I'm going to vintage myself, you have some vinyl records because I just got myself a record player and I do look forward to getting some
Got
vinyls.
5,000 of them waiting for you of all different genres.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. I am the councilman of that area. So if there's any questions, obviously don't hesitate to reach out to any of the my colleagues here in the city council. But that was my question, at least for now. Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else on the committee who has any questions?
Chair?
I see. Yes, Council President, go ahead.
Thank you. Sir, first of all, welcome. I do know the Lucy Juicy location. I think that's a great spot in Edgewood, so I'll certainly be supporting your application. Just had a question. You're going to be selling cassette tapes for those of us that are holding on to our 90s cars?
I have a cassette deck in my office as well. I've got them all, CDs,
All right.
cassettes, and vinyl, along with shirts and merchandise is my plan.
Great, fantastic. And then one other thing, and I hate to put Madam Clerk on the spot, for those watching on YouTube or on Zoom, can you explain what the holiday sales license is or why it's needed? That just the cliff notes. You don't have to go crazy.
That would just cover holidays like President's Day, any federal holidays, 4th of July, those types of holidays.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, and good luck, Mr. Browning.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions from the committee? I don't see anyone's hand raised, so I will ask the clerk to please take the roll on the motion to approve.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And good luck, Mr. Browning. Let us know if you need anything.
Is there any other steps that I have to take, or is there anything next? Nothing else?
No, you're all set. You're approved.
That's terrific. Thank you so much. You folks have a great evening.
You're welcome. You too. Okay, moving on. I see nothing from the traffic engineer. No show cause is scheduled. No business from the police or fire department. Is there anyone on from police or fire who has anything? I don't see anyone. So we're moving on to page 3 of 6 on this agenda. License renewals before the committee. Typically, I will entertain a motion to accept these, to consider these as a block. Does that sound okay, Solicitor? I don't see anything on here that's of concern to me, and there's no one from police that seems to be on here.
It is, but prior to doing that, I would simply recommend that you ask if anyone, whether the public has any comment on any of the licenses, and then ask if any of the people on the committee have any questions regarding any of the licenses, and then make the motion to do it as a block.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Is there anyone here from the public who has any questions or comments concerning any of the license renewals before this committee tonight? Please raise your hand. Mr. Lima, do you see anyone?
I see no public comment.
Okay, is there anyone from the committee who has any concerns about any of these licenses to be renewed? I don't see anyone. Okay, then I would entertain the motion to take these as a block.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, someone needs to make a motion to vote on the block.
I'll make a motion to approve all the license renewals on the docket on pages 3, 4, and 5.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, please take the roll.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Moving on to the monthly schedules, where we have Cranston Stadium has no events listed, and we have to vote to accept the list of events at roads on the Patuxent. So I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, for discussion, does anyone have any questions, or is there anyone here from the public who would like to comment or has any questions about the schedule?
No public
Yes.
comment.
Okay, I don't see any hands up from the committee. That being said, we'll just vote to accept the list of events. Clerk, please take the roll.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council President Paplas.
Yes.
Okay, I see nothing further on this agenda. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
To adjourn?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Alrighty, this concludes our safety services meeting, and we will be back for finance at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Mr. Lima, I think you should leave on this Zoom link. Is that how we did it in the past?
Yes, it's one link for both meetings, so it has to stay on, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stay logged in. I'm just gonna mute myself and turn off my camera, and I'll be back at 7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Ferry, this is Bob Strom.
Yes, Councilman, yes, Director Strong.
Is is my speaker too loud?
It was when you first turned on. Now it seems to have calmed down a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Director, if you have any free time coming up, you can certainly run for office.
Office?
Yeah,
What
run for
office?
office. Councilman Ferry gave you a promotion or a demotion.
Oh, for councilman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you should run for Congress.
I'm back in Cranston, so I could.
Congressman Strom. I like it.
Oh my God.
The fiscal watchdog.
Okay, looks like we're ready to start. No, who's missing? Councilman Riley. We'll wait another minute, Council President. You're muted.
No, I think we can start at 7 o'clock as long as Rose and Heather are good to go. I think we're
Okay. Rose and Heather, you ready to go?
Ready to go here. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready, sir. Council President.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Just want to let you know that Mike Crudale from the school department is on the attendees, and I think he has Joe Balducci with him. So if we have any questions for the school department, they're both here and in attendance.
I see that. All right, thank you. Okay, it is Monday, February 7th, 2022. I'd like to call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Rose, could you please take attendance?
Councilwoman Marino,
Present.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Present.
Councilman Riley, Councilwoman Renzulli,
Present.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Present.
Council President Paplaskas.
Present.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting.
Motion to approve the prior minutes.
Second.
Rose, could you please take a roll?
Councilwoman Marino,
Yes.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Renzulli,
Yes.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay. I see that we have no committee business matters carried over. There isn't any correspondence or communications that I see. At this time, is there anybody from the public that would like to make public comment on any of the matters that are on the docket this evening? If you would you please raise your hand?
I see no public comment.
No public comment. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to close public hearings. Okay, new matters before the committee. Councilwoman Marino, the floor is yours.
Thank you to the chairman. At the city council meeting, council president, this was actually your agenda item, and they just weren't ready at the time because they're waiting to hear back as the status on this. So if I'm not looking to step on anybody's toes at all. I thought it'd be under your name, but if there's an update since there was a public announcement as to the opioid settlement, that would be welcome from the administration.
Hello, is Mr. Malay on the line?
I see Attorney Videcchia here. There's a 480 number, Mr. Lima, if you can let him in.
He's in.
Okay.
I have a top level report, but perhaps if Mr. Malay can comment further.
I don't think he's here, Director.
Okay, yeah, he said he would be. Okay, so therefore I'm going to be somewhat limited unless Attorney Verdecchia has spoken with Mr. Malay, but was informed that the state in its entirety would be receiving $114,500,000 as a result of the settlement, of which 80% to be retained by the state and 20% of that number distributed to the municipalities. Of that number, we're told that 3.5% would go into be distributed to Cranston. I don't have the exact timing, but that number comes out to, if you do the calculation, shy of $1.8 million. No, I was told that the uses of those funds were for fighting opioid addiction, so it wouldn't be earmarked, if you will. But here's where I thought perhaps that maybe one of the attorneys could help us out. That's what I know. Okay.
Attorney Verdecchia, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm here, and I have not spoken with Solicitor Malay. I spoke with him last week, and we were awaiting the announcement from the Attorney General's office, and Director Moretti just basically told us what the final outcome would be in terms of numbers. In terms of whether or not, or I should say, what that can and cannot be used for, I have not had any discussions yet with Solicitor Malay. I think that's probably something, after I have a discussion with him, that we probably should have an executive session, possibly. So I'd like to, I mean, I haven't gotten any updates from anyone on this yet, so I think this is something that I need to speak with him about, and perhaps we can speak about it next month.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on this matter?
Mr. Chair, just to
Council
follow
President?
up, just to follow up on Attorney Verdecchia's comments. John, let me know about that executive session, if that's something we can schedule at the full council meeting at either the end of this month or do a special meeting, the week after, just for that. Let me know, because we don't know if we're going to be on Zoom still or not, but I really would like to have that meeting sooner than later.
Yeah, I understand. The only reason why I'm not sure it would need to be an executive session, but whenever I see the word litigation, obviously the red flags go up, and I'm really not familiar with any of the details of the settlement, whether there were conditions placed on it, so on and so forth. So until I can get an update, I'm not sure if we're going to go that route. But obviously, yes, we'll give plenty of notice as to whether we should go that route or if we could just hold a special meeting.
I have one follow-up question for Attorney Verdecchia too, if that's okay. Attorney Verdecchia, to the extent you can say, I know we had an executive session the last year or a couple of years ago regarding this, and some of the council members that were on then will remember. This is the same litigation that we had those executive sessions for, or is this different?
That's correct. That I think I can identify without betraying any kind of trade secret, as it were. But that was the one where we met with Attorney Mancuso, if you recall. And that was an executive session. And that was when the city decided to participate basically in the litigation regarding, all of these various pharmaceutical companies. So yes, I'm not aware of any other ones. So the short answer would be yes, it's one and the same.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the same one. I just wasn't sure if the council had to take any action or not, but I'm glad to hear that there's funds coming our way. So thank you. And thank you, Councilmember Marino, for putting this back on the docket as well.
No problem. Thanks. Team effort.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, next we have new matters before the committee. Potential for Cranston's participation in the Rhode Island Community Septic System Loan Program and the Rhode Island Sewer Tie-in Loan Program. Councilwoman Marino, the floor is yours.
Thank you to the chairman. I previously mentioned this at Public Works. I sent an email in early January to Director Moretti. I believe and I know I included Director Mason, and we spoke about it at the last Public Works meeting. And Director Strom, you may or may not have been included on that email. And it's before us as finance to just have some discussion as to whether or not this is something viable to us in a financial way, because it would be of great benefit to the residents. And just for a brief reminder for those who have not heard about it previously, it's run through the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. There are two separate programs. One is a community septic system loan program that allows for cities or towns to have that participate in the program to have residents that have existing septic systems but do not have the option of sewers to take these low interest loans at 1% for, I believe, no more than $25,000. I think it's a 10-year term for the loan. And there's, I think, about 16 cities or towns that participate, but Cranston's not one of them. And then the other program separate is run under the same organization, the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank, which is the sewer tie-in loan fund, where it allows residents to borrow money for the sewer tie-in at a low interest loan.
Any discussion? Director Moretti, would you like to weigh in here?
Yeah, sure. Director Mason is not on, but I did speak with him today. I believe the administration, Mayor Hopkins, would be finds it interesting with the Councilwoman Marino has presented. So in concept, I believe it'd be supported by the administration. What happens is, in order to, Mr. Mason indicated that in order to proceed, though, that the city of Cranston would need to be DEM approved to have an on-site wastewater management plan. He informed me that Cranston does not have one at this time, and indicated that he believes probably an approximate maybe a 6-month or so process between applying and getting approved for that. There's a potential for it. He mentioned that in the past, I guess there was not a lot of energy for this program in prior administrations, but I believe, and I believe the mayor feels that this certainly could be worthwhile. There's a logistical problem, though, in the meantime, is the burden on this would probably fall with two departments, one being Public Works and the other being Finance. Whether you know or don't know, we're going to be short-staffed at the top in each of those departments very soon. So in terms of priority, at this time, I think it might be difficult. But I would think, and maybe once we have some new people on board, that we want to turn it over to them to get their input and proceed if there's concurrence. So because some of the burden of certainly applying and working with DEM would primarily fall on DPW, and the administration of the program probably with the finance department. So I think by being shorthanded at the top, I think we're gonna, I don't want to overpromise, I guess is what I'm saying.
Director Moretti, you said that the process could take up to 6 months to apply. So is it possible before anyone retires in either of those departments that we at least get the application submitted, and then we can follow it up with whoever replaces Director Strom or whoever replaces Director Mason, so we don't lose another 6 months?
I can speak to Mr. Mason about it. He didn't specify the exact timing, but I can certainly inquire. Though we're only weeks away, that will be losing him. And given any transition, I'd be happy to look into it, but again, I can't overpromise that because it's just a matter of weeks until we're going to be shorthanded.
Councilwoman
Yeah.
Marino?
Sure, if I can, thank you, Director Moretti. When I reached out to you in early January in this, I had also reached out, obviously, beforehand to the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank and spoke to someone who handles this arena, and she had relayed to me that the on-site wastewater application with DEM, if we didn't have one on file, she had said it's something that might only take 3 to 4 months. Now, I'm not looking to split hairs, and I'm not an expert, but maybe it may take sooner. And the other thing I will say is that she was very positive in terms of that they would provide whatever assistance they could to help us along the way. So that's somewhat encouraging, even if we don't have someone specifically at the helm right now. Maybe the next person down, if Mr. Mason, Director Mason, is gone before, then can assist in this regard, and that might be helpful.
I'll be happy to follow up with him. Again, it seems like a worthwhile program. Doesn't see a reason why we'd want to in any way hinder it. Maybe I'm being conservative, but there are staffing issues, but I'd be happy to pursue it with him. I see Director Strom is on. If you'd like to convince him to hang on a little while longer, we'd be pleased that he does that.
Director Strom?
I have no comment on that right now, but I will do everything possible to try to make a smooth transition, at least in finance. And hopefully, I'm going to be here for the processing of each department for the budget process, and when to get the mayor to give him input for his budget presentation on April 1st. After that, we could see what needs to be done. I know I'm going to have a few short-handed individuals in finance. I have one individual going out on pregnancy leave. So I'm pretty lean on staff right now, but I could see what I could do to help. I'm familiar with the Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank and Jeff Deal, who's the head of it. Maybe I could reach out to him before I leave and see what assistance he could give from a financial standpoint. So as Councilwoman Marino mentioned, maybe we can move this along, but I'm not that familiar with this program specifically. I think Mr. Mason was more familiar with it.
Okay. And I, if I can ask, and Director Strom, if you don't know, that's fine. I want to put you on the spot. I recall Director Mason had mentioned too about the financial aspect. Do you know from experience, maybe in talking with other cities and towns, as to whether or not we need to have a separate, we need to have a person administer this for us?
At this point, I don't know, but again, I can look into it, and I'll have further conversation with Director Moretti and Director Mason to see if we can formulate a game plan.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you, Director
on this. Agreed on this, and thank you.
Councilwoman Marino, would you like this to be added to the Public Works agenda for next month also, just so we can keep it on our minds?
Yeah, why don't this is finance, but yeah, we can add it to finance for next month, because I think that's the bigger piece. In Public Works, we can deal with that. Not for this month. Why don't we skip Public Works for now? Just put it on finance for next month. I think that makes sense.
Rose, could you add that to next month's meeting also? And we'll try and remind you also. Thank you. Any other discussion on this matter?
Yeah, Councilman Ferry, I'd like to know who Councilwoman Marino was speaking to. If she could send me some information, I'd like to reach out to that individual as well.
Councilwoman Marino, would you please contact Director Strong with that information?
Yep, not a problem. We'll do.
All right.
Looks like
As
Director
much work
Strong
on
is
his plate as we
contemplating
can before he
retirement.
leaves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Looks like he's contemplating retirement. We might actually have him all the way through the end of the fiscal year or through Christmas at some point.
Sure.
Bring him back on a 70, what is it, the 75-day rule?
It's Councilmember Vargas, for Director Strom, it's a 750-day rule. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda, we have 1-22-01, ordinance ratifying school committee's collective bargaining agreement with the National Association of Government Employees, Local Rhode Island 153, custodian unit. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second, okay. I would like to open up the floor for discussion on this matter, or if anyone from the school department is here to weigh in on this, please invite them into the meeting at this time.
So I got a text from Mr. Crudell. They are attending the school committee meeting at the same time. So it might be difficult for them to talk.
Okay.
We can certainly try.
Does anyone have any questions, or would anybody from the administration like to weigh in on this? Just to update us?
I'm available. I stepped out of the school committee meeting.
Okay, Mr. Crudell, please, thank you.
Yeah, so Joe is actually answering questions right now for the school committee on the budget. So this is just before you is a 3-year contract with the custodians over the life of the contract. So year 1 would be a 3% increase, and then years 2 and 3 would be 2%. Year 1 would be actually the 21-22 school year, this current year. So it would be retroactive this year, which, you know, Joe has already said we have that accounted for in this year's budget. You'll also see that we're offering this bargaining unit a $2,000 ratification bonus, which we're utilizing ESSER money, so the federal money for the relief money, to kind of offer that to this bargaining unit. That would be part of year 1. And then years 2 and 3, so 22, 23, and 23, 24, each would have a 2% increase.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Crudell?
I have one, Councilman Ferry.
Yes,
to
Director
Mike Crudell. The 2% in year 2 and 3, is that based strictly on salary increase, or does it include salary increase and the ratification bonus?
No, the ratification bonus is a one-time payout, so that's not compounded.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
I just have a question for Director Strom, if possible. Director Strom, you reviewed the fiscal note or sent us a fiscal note here. Anything that we should be aware of? Cities okay to, you know, fund this increase? I've always said the custodians, you know, make the smallest amount of money and some of the hardest workers that we have. So I've always supported the custodian increases, but just want to make sure that we're in good financial shape if we approve this moving forward.
No, in my opinion, I think this is a fair contract. I believe, as Mike Crudell mentioned, that the 3% was already tabulated into this year's budget, even though it's back retroactively. So that shouldn't be an issue. And then going forward, 2% per year is, in my opinion, very reasonable.
Thank you, Director. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Crudell.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. Okay, at this time, Rose, could we please take a vote?
Councilwoman Marino,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Hey. Hey, next on the agenda, we have real estate tax abatements. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Rose, could you please take a vote?
Councilwoman Marino,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Okay, next we have motor vehicle tax abatements. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second. Second.
Any discussion? Rose, could you please take a vote?
Councilwoman Marino,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Riley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazzulli,
Yes.
Council Vice President Ferry,
Yes.
Council President Paplaskas.
Yes.
Next, we have tax assessment board of review, assessed December 31st, 2020. Any discussion on this matter? No discussion? Okay. I don't see anything else on the agenda, so we'll see everybody on Thursday. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Have a
Night,
great night,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Good night.
That's all, folks.
Good night.